We at Open Rivers Pictures, we are so excited about our upcoming production assistant workshop. We are so excited about that. And we wanted you to meet our instructor for the class, Tommy Burns.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Tommy brings two great perspectives to this class, which I really, really, really love. And they are?
I'm a director, and I'm a director of photography. And I've done both on a national level. And I also have a master's degree in screenwriting. And I've spent much time on set as a production assistant all the way up through director and director of photography.
Which is really good. So he is going to teach from being a PA himself, and he was on a great movie that we all kind of love, and it's a classic, School Days.
Yes.
He was on a PA on that movie and many other movies, but also he's going to bring the perspective of someone who has gone from a PA to a DP and a director. And there are many directors who started off as production assistants.
That's correct.
Yeah.
In fact, to me, the best way was the easiest way to get into film production, number one, to be a production assistant. And the best way, because a lot of people coming into film production, even those who've gone to film school, don't know exactly what they want to do in the business. Everybody wants to be a director, but everybody's not cut out to be a director. And if you're a production assistant on a movie, you may discover that you actually like some other things better.
So being a PA is definitely an entry level into the film and television business.
Entry level, absolutely. But it's the most important job on the set. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people in production don't realize that. But when you don't have PAs and or good PAs, your production suffers greatly. It slows everything down. It's very difficult to work without production assistants.
Yeah, yeah. And also I want to say, it is an entry-level position, but there are also people who they are PAs as their profession. I mean, that's what they do. They love being PAs. They have a passion for being a PA, and they have just taken this job and just melted it to a science, so to speak.
Yes.
They have a science. There's a science in being a PA. In this class that we're having coming up on December 13th and 14th, there are several things that we're going to talk about in class. One is boundaries, talking about being a PA on set and understanding the boundaries of being a PA.
Yes. It's kind of like, to a certain degree, if you go to someone's house and they don't want you to wear shoes in their house and you don't wear shoes. And I use that example because if you're on set, you can if you pay attention, you can kind of see what the boundaries are. You'll see that no one else talks to the talent but the director or the DP and producer. And you usually see 1 to 3 people talking to the talent. So you don't talk to the talent. Nobody else is doing it. You don't do it. If you don't see anybody else stopping and taking pictures right before a scene, you don't do it. Nobody does that. You don't see the director saying, "Hey, right before this we take this." The director doesn't do that. You don't do it. So that's one of the things, and that's etiquette. But the other boundary is knowing where your input is, where your lane is. You don't move cameras. You don't move lights. You don't give advice on how to say a line. You don't say, well, maybe we should paint the wall red instead of yellow. That's not your area. Your job is to bring the red paint. And if they paint it red and decided it wants to be yellow, then your job might be to go get the yellow paint.
Yeah, and so I love it. Yeah, so I love being, knowing the do's and don'ts, and then being resourceful. And there's just there's so much to a PA's role.
Right.
That's very, very important. And we know that there are different kinds of PAs, and we're going to talk about that as well in our class, because there's office PAs, there's script PAs, and there's just so many different type of PAs. And so we want to, for 2 days, we'll have opportunity to be able to break that down and really give you information on the different kinds of PAs and the role of each one of those jobs, you know, how to do it, and talk to you about how much money you should expect to make as a production assistant, and just knowing the terminology.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you can make a good living as a production assistant. But obviously, you know, you won't. I mean, depending on how you live, you won't necessarily get rich being a PA, but you can make a much better living than a lot of people going to jobs every day in middle management. You can make that on an entry-level production, in an entry-level position as a production assistant.
What did you like most about working as a PA?
The thing I like most about working as a PA is that I got to see how all the different departments worked from an outside perspective. And that gave me it helped me as a director because I see how all departments have to work. So when I'm planning shots, when I'm planning camera angles, when I'm planning how to lay out, you know, how I'm going to cover a scene, I know how all those different departments work together. Yeah. Because I've seen them from the bottom, bottom up, yeah. Basically. And I don't necessarily like using the term bottom, even though I just said it, when it comes to production assistants, because it's really more like they're the foundation. So the foundation of a building is on the bottom, but the building really can't stand right. without the foundation.
It's only as strong as the foundation.
Exactly.
So having good, strong PAs is definitely important. And I know you just told me about a job you were on recently that you were like, there were, I think, about 3 or 4 PAs, and there's only one or two.
There's only one that's good.
That's good.
And I will tell you, finding good PAs is difficult. On most productions I'm on, there's 1 or 2 that are really good. And you always know which one is good because they're the one that everybody keeps assigning things to. And if you're on a set and you hear your name a lot, that usually means that you're doing a good job as a production assistant. If you're on set and things need to get done and they almost never tell you to do it, you're not doing a good job. And then you may finish out that job, but they're not going to call you back. And word of mouth is everything in this business. Yeah, yeah. Everything. People will call me and ask me for good PAs all the time. Yeah. And there are only a few people, really, only a handful of people that I can recommend. Yeah. So we are really, really excited about this class, and we are glad that Tommy is going to be teaching this class. So much in store for those of you who are registered. If you have not registered, I would say definitely register now. Register as soon as this video is over. Go and register at openriverspictures.com. Tommy has the experience, and also I love it. You have taught at the famous Maine workshops. Yes. Maine workshops. They have schools all over the world. I taught at the one in Maine. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Be sure to register today. Tommy, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you December 13th and 14th at Open Rivers Pictures, Pinewood Production Center, Atlanta, Fayetteville, Georgia.